West up the stairs inside this keep. Up the stairs. Oh, I guess we go through the caverns. Try going this way. I guess that's nothing. Great. It's dead end anyway. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. Throne room. Keep. Up the stairs. Oh. Duh. This is west. Armory has been picked clean of weapons by persons unknown. Alright. My bad. I made it harder than it actually is. Oh, from the Eastern Armory now. Alright. Alright, has also been emptied. Toma calls to you. Calls you to him.
You are looking for weapons? You'll find none here.
Several parties of my people armed themselves with swords and axes from the armories here and set out into the mountains in search of the remaining drakes of the Frost Horde. It is a proud tradition of the Zaruka to hunt such creatures, but I might have advised against it if I had known an army of Longbeards was soon to arrive. Tell the Longbeard Prince that if he wants those weapons, he will have to wait for my Zaruka brothers to return victorious from their hunt. Alright. Here we go. See, that's the way it should have gone.
Shauruka have gone to hunt drakes? Bah! We need those weapons!
You had better go after them, Florecita. Oh, it's gonna be on me, huh? And save them from their own foolishness. I want them alive so they can hear my reprimands, but more importantly, I want the weapons they stole. I have spoken with some of the reinforcements from the Lonely Mountain, and many of their weapons are of poor quality, damaged either from disuse or entirely too much use. There is no middle ground. Find the Zaruka hunting parties outside Scarhill and bring back those weapons. Okay, east of the Scarhill, huh? Oh, they're over there. Okay, not a problem. There they are. Horn of Hunting. The Zaruka cheer the victory.
Thank you for your help, friend.
We will return to Scarhill, but there was another party of Drake hunters with us, and they have not yet come back. We heard their horn blowing some time ago, but stopped abruptly. Uh-oh. They continued on to the northeast if you wish to search in that direction. Okay. Oh, it didn't look too good. Found the second Zerko honey party, but they are already slain. Well, let's collect the weapons. Okay, return to Durin. Come on. Yep, getting some leg tonight.
My Longbeards are going to need every weapon they can get.
Okay. But there is trouble brewing in Scarhill, and I need my most trusted champion to help deal with it before the situation gets worse. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, no, I want that. I'll take this one.
While you were away, a brawl broke out on the upper level.
Do not know the precise cause of it, but seems there is some resentment on the part of the Zaruka and the Stout Axes here at Scarhall. When I climbed up to investigate, the matter had been resolved, but even as Durin speaks, you hear shouting from up the stairs. There! You hear them? It appears nothing was settled after all. You go find these unruly dwarves and get to the bottom of this, Florecita. Perhaps they will listen to you. If they do not, well, we will swing that axe when we get there. Okay. So let me see here. I'll replace these two. And then, oops. Wrong one. There we go. Okay. Right. All right. Next time you gotta go to the keep, go that way. There they are. Calming down. Calming down. Helping up.
I saw it all. The Longbeard called him Grey Mole Filth.
Uh-oh. They were grumbling at each other for a good while, mostly about imagined slights, I expect. But before long, they were each at a full bellow. A healer called Imlach Grey Mole Filth as he turned to go, and that is when Imlach knocked him down. I do not know what he meant by that, but he is fortunate Imlach used his fist and not his axe. I might have done worse.
You want to know what happened? He knocked me down when my back was turned!
You know what? You want to know what happened? I said 2 words, little more than that, and turned to go. That treacherous slime knocked me down when my back was turned. He calls himself a stout axe, but I know what he really is. He spent so long in Mordor. He was a willing servant of Sauron, or I am an elf. I called him a Grey Maul. What of it? He shows his true nature with such a cowardly strike. I wager all the stout axes have some Grey Maul blood in them, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Zaruka did too. Yes, some of the Grey Mauls must have escaped Durin's judgment, and their descendants probably intermingled with the other dwarf families. It would not surprise me to learn that Grey Maul blood might have led to the crimes and failings of even the Dour Hands. Wow.
I do not know anything about these Grey Mauls he mentioned, but his tone of voice was clear.
He intended for it to be insulting, so I was insulted. The story of treacherous dwarves must be some fable of the Longbeards. We stout axes have our own tales, and no shortage of villains to which I might compare such as he who speak without thinking. He would do well to remember the force of my punch, for if he says anything of the sort to me again, he will face my fist once more, and this time I will hold nothing back. You ask Gimlick if there is anything that might be done to put this quarry behind them, and he nods in the direction of Haler and the interested onlookers. I would accept an apology over a mug of ale if you were to fetch enough for the four of us. I find that usually helps. Okay. Seeing keg ale and clean mugs on this level of Scarhead. Okay. Mugs as Scarhand. On this level, huh? Let me see. Yep, clean enough mug. Okay. Fill mugs from the ale keg south of the quarry doors. Okay. There it is. Oh, only one. Okay, I do this 3 more times. Oh wait, what's that? After filling the second mug, the ale keg runs dry from another ale keg. Okay. Happily, this is nearly full and you're able to pour a 3rd mug. Yay! Pass out the mugs of ale and the door set aside their differences for now. Talk to Durin. Alright.
were able to smooth things over with the quarreling dwarves. I expected no less.
But now there's something else, isn't there always?
Soon I will drive the orcs from Gundabad. But I am no fool. We must prepare.
Too often the hasty stroke goes astray, or they say, and I know any assault upon the mountain home must be carefully planned. To that end, I sent a number of scouts to the wells of the Langflood, swift and true, and they have now returned. But they return with news not from the foot of Gundabad, but from the lands to the south. They bring word of a raiding party set loose from Gundabad upon the inhabitants of Mist Hollow and the Floodfells. There are few enough of those, but if the orcs move in those lands, they will trouble any army that seeks to advance upon Gundabad. Someone must deal with this raiding party. Do you know something, Florecita? I believe we might solve two problems with a single stroke. Why not send some of the troublesome Zaruka or Stout Axes to confront this raiding party? They will realize their true quarrels with the orcs, and during their absence, some measure of peace may return to Scarhold. What were their names? Imak, Venko. Bring them the news of this task and invite them to adventure on behalf of their people. Okay. Mac and Vinko stop drinking as you approach. Surprise! Durin expects the two of us to go in search of a raiding party from Gundabad. Is that what you are saying, Florecita? I cannot fail to notice that he has charged the Stout Axe and the Zaruka with this mission rather than any of the large number of his own folks that have come to Scarheld. I find that most curious. Venko, do you not? I believe the Longbeard Prince is seeking to get rid of us. Durin wants us to go face a raiding party from Gundabad. I see the workings of his mind, and I tell you they are not as subtle as he thinks them to be. If Imak and I prove victorious against these orcs, and then the few folk who live among the Langflood will be made safer, and if we do not, well, Durin has only lost a Stout Axe and a Zaruka in the effort. He will not mourn us over much, Imak, will he? In the interest of setting aside our differences, I will do as Durin requests. If Imak will do the same, I will venture to the wells of the Langflood in pursuit of this raiding party, with two conditions only. The first is this: you must come with us, Florecita. You are a close friend of the Longbeard Prince, and he would not send you into danger without reason. If you were to perish, I believe he would be aggrieved. So I ask that you come with us in search of this raiding party. My second condition is that Durin send a Longbeard as well. Why should Stout Axes and Zaruka go into danger when Durin's folk remain behind in safety? Those are my conditions. Bring them to Durin with haste, Florecita, and see what this Longbeard Prince has to say. Okay? Oops. Hero of Erebor, that's my title. Okay.
They will only undertake this errand if you go with them? This is outrageous.
No one else has assumed the mantle of leadership here at Scarhold, and I do so only unwillingly. But if I make such a command as this, it should be followed and without question. These doors will cause only trouble for me and mine, and if I want them well away from Scarhold, then away from it they shall be, without negotiation. But what is it, Gloin? You have something to say?
Yes, Durin, I have something to say.
I have seen a thing or two during my long life, and it has taught me much. I was amongst the youngest of the Dwarves to fight at Azonobazar. Did you know that? Every dwarf clan sent representatives to fight in that war, Durin, not just the Longbeards. Even so youthful as I was, I knew that each family fought for more than just their own glory. They fought for the survival of all dwarves. You should not send Zaruka only or Stout Axes only in pursuit of this orc raiding party. Neither should you keep your Longbeards in reserve, for that speaks poorly both of you and of them. A Longbeard should go, and I volunteer myself. Let Florecita venture there too, not just because Immac and Venko request it, but because Florecita is a loyal friend and true, and will see this raiding party destroyed. These are words of wisdom, Durin, and with age and experience they will come naturally to you. For now, let them come from your friends and allies, for they want the same as you and will not lead you astray. Florecita, will you gather the supplies we will need for an excursion into the wells of Langflood? You will find satchels and foodstuff, climbing gear, and other supplies 2 or 3 levels up in Scarnheld. While you do that, I will tell Imlac and Venko that we will be traveling companions for the good of Scarheld and all dwarves. Alright. Alright. 2 levels up.
You found the supplies for our expedition. Very good.
At a young age, I learned the importance of preparing for a journey, and my appreciation of such preparation has only increased with every passing year. You do not want to lack some crucial tool in the middle of the wilderness. I can tell you that. But you know that as well as I, my friend. I spoke to Imlak and Venko while you were gathering up the supplies, and they said they will meet us at the pass that leads to the wells of Langflood, far to the west of Scarhald, east and south of the broken rush gate. They were not very happy about it. They believed their conditions would change Durin's mind and keep anyone from seeking out this raiding party, but it was not so. Speak to Durin, and then we will join our new companions.
So, are you ready to depart for the wells of the Langflood?
I know very little of that region, but I understand Glowing journeyed there during the Sixth War of the Dwarves and Orcs when he was very young, and I am sure he will tell you anything you may need to know of that land. I will await word of the raiding party when you find it, and then we will turn our attention to the place from which it came, Gundabad, the mountain home of my people. For too long has it been kept by the Orcs, but their residency will soon come to an end. One more thing, Florecita. Keep a watchful eye on the Stout Axe and Zaruka with whom you travel. They may not wish you ill, not directly, but they may treat you dishonestly if it serves their purposes. The Well of Langflug are west of here, assembled by a narrow pass in the southern cliffs, east of the broken rush gate. Journey there boldly, but with caution in your eye, and find this raiding party before it can do more harm. Okay. Find your traveling companions to the west of Scarhill at the pass of the Wells of Langflood, east and south of Broken Rush Gate. Okay. Yeah, right there. Alrighty. Off we go. Wrong way. Let me see. Have to go south. Uh-oh. Yep, reduced awareness. Alright. Ah, lagging. Stuttering. This way. There they are. Yeah, I met up with your traveling companions near the pass of the Wells of Langfeld.
We're all arrived, my friend.
This is the path that will take us to the foggy basin of Mist Hollow, through which runs the tributaries of a familiar river. The folk of these northern lands named it Langflood, but you would call it the Great River of Anduin. The raiding party from Gundabad was spotted somewhere near the Wells of Langflood. That is where we must go. Okay. Ah, the Targ warrior is sleepy. Oh, let's do this one.
We will need to work together if we are to see this task accomplished.
Ah, Venko, do you not agree? Come on.
None of us want to travel together, but each of us has reason to hate the orcs.
Let that person unify us. Let that purpose unify us, and in a day or two, once the raiding party is destroyed, we need not remain companions. Let us look forward to that, and we should have little reason to complain. The Wells of Langflood await us, and after we can return to our own concerns. I have never seen the lands among the Langflood, but we should keep watch for places at which we might camp, sheltered from the wind and from threats that might roam near.
Do not speak to me as if I were a mere child growing.
You are my elder in years, it is true, and your beard is white, but you spent no time in the dungeons of Sauron as I have. Doubt not that I will match you both, you and Florecita, in courage. A raiding party of orcs, I have proven far better against much worse, and do not treat me as some youthful stripling. Once we arrive in Mist Hollow, we will need to find a place to camp, and that means fighting whatever aggressive beasts stray near our prospective campsite. I will slay my share of the creatures so long as you pull your own weight. Cross into Mist Hollow, the northern reaches of the Wells of Langflood. Alright, let's do it. Your companion suggests that you find a safe place to camp in Mist Hollow. Seriously? Oh, defeat beasts or other dangers, or potential go east of, or location south of Hisland. That's Hisland right there. So there and there maybe. Alright. That's my rock. Yeah. Darn it. Here they are. Okay.
Aye, this place will do.
Let me find my tinderbox and I'll get a fire started.
You have no doubt heard of the quest for the Lonely Mountain, have you not?
I understand our burglar wrote up quite a tale of our adventure. I mean no disrespect to his skill with a pen when I say it likely cannot compare to the real experience of the thing. Of course, we spent most of the time being either wet or cold, or both at once, and it is the nature of memory to send off the rough edges until only the glory and excitement remains. Still, that was an adventure. I do not know if Bilbo recorded it in his book, but my brother Owen and I were responsible for getting the fires going whenever we stopped to camp. Our tinderboxes saw much use, and in far bleaker places than this one. While I see if I still have the skill, I suggest you help our companions unpack their belongings. We will rest here for a while before we set out in search of the raiding party in earnest.
Yes, very well. If you wish to make yourself helpful, do not let me stop you.
We will not rest here for long, but I would welcome the chance to adjust the contents of these satchels. They have settled uncomfortably and caused me some discomfort while we walked. If you unpack that bag for me, I will rearrange the contents while we rest, but expect no thanks for it, man. Oi, leave that alone, Imac barks at ya.
Not that one. Can you not follow directions?
No. Leave that coffer be, man, for that is no business of yours, poking around in my things like a common brigand. Bah! Imac throws his hands into the air. No, it is fine, Florecita. I should have said something first. That coffer contains a number of keepsakes, more curious really, but they are objects of some sentimentality for me. They're sentimental, gosh darn it. They remind me of friends and family less fortunate than I am. Some were not able to escape from Mordor, and others knew freedom for only a short time. Listen, Florecita, I'm sorry I yelled at you. I am a little on edge because my nose is telling me there are wargs about. No, it is true, my sense of smell is very acute. If my nose says there are wargs hunting nearby, then wargs nearby are hunting. Search for tracks to the southeast and tell me it is not so. It is the least you can do after disturbing my privacy as you have done. I defeat the hunting warg and my claims he can smell. Alright.
We should not spend too long here in idleness.
I understand few folk live alongside the river this far north, but those who do will be in greater danger from such a raiding party as the ones we seek. You asked Venko if he needs any help unpacking his belongings. Excuse me. No, Florecita, thank you. Weaseluruka learned long ago the value of unencumbered travel and carry very little in our mountain journeys.
Leave those alone. Those belong to my brothers.
And I would have no other hands touch them. Venko scowls at you, but after a moment's glower, he relents with a sigh. Ah, I am sorry. I do not think me rude. The three of us came west to seek our rightful home. Me, my younger brother Dusek, and my eldest brother Lekun. I wish now we had stayed in the east. But what sense is there in dwelling upon it? My brothers were both slain when the Frost Horde attacked, and now it falls on me alone to fulfill the purpose with which we set out. If the Zaruka are ever given a home to call our own, I will hang my brother's weapons above my mantelpiece, and at last know peace. Until that day I will bear Kruzhar and Rankova with me, but they will not see battle. The Zaruka were promised a place in Gundabad long ago, but they never reached it. Do you think your friend Durin will honor this ancient offer if he is able to retake the mountain from the orcs? I do not mind telling you I have my doubts, Florecita. But that is a worry for the future. For now I think of my fallen brothers and mourn that they will not see the gates of Gundabad, or the crags of Elderslide, or the farmed Rigfos of Greyland. Ah, I have an idea. We are not that far from the roaring waterfalls of Misthollow, Florecita. I charge you to find a good vantage point to the north and look at the nearest of the three sisters, the Rockfos of Greyland, in honor of my brothers. Return then to me, and I would be grateful to hear your description of it. Okay. Oh, there's a warg right there. Here's the warg camp. Ah, there's the warg tracks. Suddenly, a hunting warg is upon you. Ulrich was right, but he needn't be told this is one of the campsites you considered. Ha! Alright. Oh, since I'm on my way back.
You found the hunting warg, didn't you?
No need to say a word, Florecita. I know that it is true. Imlek nods with satisfaction, a pleased smile creeping into his face. I have always had a heightened sense of smell, but in mortar it became a matter of survival. I developed a nose for danger. Nowhere was ever truly safe, but I was able to sniff out the worst of the dangers and steer clear of them. That skill is still with me. I could not ignore it if I tried. Like the keepsakes I brought out of Mordor, it is a constant remember of my time toiling in fear of Sauron. I cannot forget and will not. Alright, well, I'm not going to eat right now. I'm going to do this other one. Oops, wrong way. Maybe up there. Alright, Milmore. Alright. Yeah, found a command view of the mighty Rickfoss. You stare in silence as the waters of the Rickfoss cascade from the heights. Yeah, it's right here. Alright.
You have returned from the Reich Force.
Tell me, Florecita, what did you make of this mighty waterfall of Mist Hollow? You gave Venko your impression of the Rickfoss from the vantage point you found, and the Zaruka nodded solemnly. Thank you, Florecita. My brothers and I promised to look upon the three sisters on our approach to Gundabad, but the Frost Horde ensured that promise was not to be kept. I still look forward to my first view of the falls, but I am pleased you have done so in memory of Dusak and Lucan. Drink in silence. Alright. Eat in silence. And drink in silence. Or that. Okay, eating, drinking. Alright.
The Jaruka has my sympathy, but no more and no less than anyone else.
We have all lost people. Zeruko has my sympathy, but no more no less than anyone who has suffered the same. Let the memory of his brothers strengthen his resolve and toughen his spirit.
Emok was right about the hunting warg.
Of all my senses, my sense of smell has never been especially potent. Now my sense of taste is another thing entirely. I have a taste for beer and for roast mutton, although we may not have much of either on this journey. But Imak was right about the hunting warg. Perhaps he should take the first watch and let his nose alert us to any approaching dangers.
Emok endured much during his captivity in Mordor.
Never have I been within the borders of that land, and never have I heard anything pleasant about it. I do know this. I would not wish to have a heightened sense of smell in that place. For that, Imek has my sympathy.
It seems that Longbeards and Joruka know the same sorrows.
And Venko has my sympathy. I too have lost a brother. Oin went to Moria with Balin and died there. Some dwarves would be content to live out their lives in safety and in peace, but not my brother, nor would I, before you say it. Neither would our Zaruka companion, it seems. He still intends to see the sights that were denied his brothers and plans no defeated return to the eastern lands. I find that commendable.
I told you I still possess the fire-making skill.
Ah, if Oin were still alive, he would have had this fire going in half the time. My brother was the only one of Thorin's company who could match me at campfire lighting. Well, I suppose Gandalf could have, but he set his mind, if he set his mind to it. But in my recollection, he never offered to light a campfire, no matter how wet or cold we might have been. He would only set things ablaze when there were wargs about, and never only for convenience. I suppose that is the way of wizards. They feel the cold less than dwarves, and they are less considerate as well. But you did not hear that from me, Florecita, I beg you. Ooh, a universal solvent, too. Okay. I'll take that one.
I understand you fought alongside my son Gimli at a number of recent battles.
Yes, I have. Well, I guess I won't remove that. I'm not going to do that now anyway. Let me see. I might be able to craft some anyway, so we'll see. Alright. I understand you fought alongside my son Gimli at a number of recent battles, Florecita, and I look forward to hearing about them. Every people has its own way of recording the history of war, but there is none so detailed or pleasing to the ear as that of the dwarves. My people have had a great deal of practice at both the conduct of war and its description. Yes, I have lived a life of battle and would prefer no other. I told you before that I fought the battle of Nanul Bizarre. Others of my kind earned glorious epithets like Oakenshield or Ironfoot, and the dead were so numerous they could not be entombed. Instead, they were burned, and the honored of the burned dwarves of Azan-no-Bizarre will not be forgotten. I slew my share of orcs in the Dimrill Dale, and I dare say I made my father proud. I expect it will be the same with Gimli when he shares his account of his own fighting in the south. Azan-no-Bizarre closed that war, but it was not the only such war between dwarves and orcs, nor would be the last. It was the sixth, sometimes called by my people the Great Orc War. We held Gundabad again during that war, but only briefly, and after the losses at Azan-no-Bizarre, King Thrain had neither the heart nor the warriors to reclaim it. The Longbeards became a people in exile.
Another tale.
For dwarves of my clan fought in that war as well. Not so many as the Longbeards or other dwarf clans perhaps, but there was glory earned by stout axes at Azan-no-Bizarre. Indeed, I would claim a greater share of the glory for what was Khazad-dûm to the stout axes. Theirs was a selfless battle, born out of friendship with the other clans and hatred for their shared ancient enemies. The Longbeards might do well to remember the heroism of my people in those years and treat them with greater respect.
Loin speaks as if only Longbeards fought at Azanul-Bizarre.
Ah, that's how you
But it
pronounce
was
it.
not so.
Nazul-Bizarre. Warriors from every dwarf clan came together to fight the orcs, and my people too numbered among the burned dwarves. Indeed, the Zaruka know the pain of a life in exile as well as the Longbeards ever did, and we still do.
I meant no offense, my companions.
I did not forget the contributions of the other clans at Analzul-Bizarre. Florecita will vouch for me. Did I not speak of these very contributions to Durin before we departed from Skarhald? I did. Indeed, the other clans are not descended from Durin the Deathless, but they revere him still as the eldest of the dwarves, the first to awake. Any insult to his heirs is an insult to all dwarves, and no dwarf clan would permit such a cruelty as that done by Azog, the fearsome orc that slew Thor, the father of Thrain. Each of the clans responded, and so it was that Azog met his doom. There was glory enough for all. Of course there was. There was glory enough for all. Of course there was. And triumph not just for Durin's folk, but for all. You know that to be true. I did not mean to offend. Eat in silence, leaving your companions to their thoughts. Drink in silence, leaving your companions to their thoughts. Okay.
I spoke over hastily, for I am skilled with my axe, but less so with words.
If Gimli were here, he would speak with more polish. He has always been more well-spoken than I, and he has a better grasp of the niceties than his father ever has. By my beard, Florecita, what is this expression you wear? Have you not found that to be true?
I think that is enough rest for now.
Let us find the raiding party before this old dwarf trips upon his own beard and offends our companions further. Few people live in these lands, but I understand that the forebears of the Rohirrim once lived alongside the Anduin somewhere in Mist Hollow. Their town was named Franzburg, and I expect it lies on the rocky spur to the west of us. Let us see if anyone lives there now and find out what they may know of the raiding party from Gundabad. I will help put away our campsite and meet you there, Florecita. Meet up with Gloria at the rocky spur on which stands the ruins of Franzburg. Okay. Let's see what this. The Legacy of Durin and the Trials of the Dwarves. Okay. So there's 3 chapters basically. Oops. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh no, only 2 chapters. Okay. Well, let's see. What time do we have? Okay, I've been playing for over an hour. I'll take the Sinister Wing. Okay, I think I'm going to call it quits. I'll see if I could upload this, and we'll go from there. See you all later. Bye.